Hi, I'm Louella, and this is my 422 on No Zombies Allowed. So, my first quote that I picked up was, "What many of us do when we turn on the TV is turn off our brains." And then after that, it said, "I want you to be smarter than your TV." I thought this was interesting because a lot of the time when I do turn on my TV, I am going home and planning on not thinking about anything. And in this reading, it seemed like it was directed to younger kids, and I'm sure a lot of young kids go home and do the same thing without really realizing it. And the trouble with that is, even though we're turning off our brains, everything that we're watching is subconsciously going into our minds. So personally, like, I got an example out of this. When I do this, say I'm watching Gossip Girl, which I do on the occasion. When I watch Gossip Girl, I am not really paying attention. I'm just relaxing, watching a show I like. But then I notice myself throughout the day, like, I start wanting to dress preppier, and then I start having like a little attitude. And I'm like, why am I acting like this? And I realize I'm acting like one of the characters. And this doesn't only happen with Gossip Girl, this has happened with other shows before if I watch them too much. So that's an embarrassing personal example. My second quote was, for most, TV was where they got their bulk of information about the outside world or their neighborhood. Um, and that was another one I thought was interesting for young kids, because if personally I don't watch news and I really don't get my bulk information from TV. I really didn't watch that much TV when I was a kid, and it was more of just like I'd hear things that people were talking about, and that's where I got my information of the neighborhood. But it's kind of scary to think that there are people that get all their information from the news. If I were to watch the news, say when I was living in Wilmington, when I did watch the news briefly, all I heard about was shootings after shootings, and this was in a town that seemed safe. So, yeah, that's good to know that that happens, but um, if you're getting your bulk of information from TV and not from just like a sense of community, then that could be dangerous. My other quote was, "We discussed how both teachers and students can both become zombified in schools." Um, and I agree with that, and I thought it was interesting because I definitely think that schools seem very zombified, at least when I was in the public school. It seemed like all the teachers were just, doing everything in order, and not like a scary zombie, but more of just like I'm a zombie, I do everything that I'm told to. Which isn't always a bad thing, but students, are all like told to be the same too. And um, a personal example for that is that I think that, well, it's more of a personal opinion based off of an example, but in school, when I have, still today, when I have classes that are just lecture after lecture and students are just all heads down doing paper, which is my view of the zombified. I thought that's kind of what she was getting at. Those classes I don't get as much out of as the classes where a teacher is talking and asking for your opinions, and like not looking for a certain answer, but open to everyone's answers, and it's a learning experience like that. I think there needs to be more classes like that, and that's what I want to be like as a teacher. And I think based off this article, that's the kind of teacher that this lady was. And then my last quote was, do you think that girl and the guests on the show were being used in a sense by the producers and the hosts? And that was when it was talking about the Jerry Springer show, which I agree with that comment. And I think it's really sad, actually, because I wish I had a class like this when I was in middle school or high school. Not that I really even watched that much TV, but I think when I did watch shows like that, it was very, very easy to pick up on stereotypes. And I feel like, in a way, like what the producers and the hosts use that show as is entertainment, like some of the students were saying, and just kind of using the people on it in a bad manner. And then if you're watching that show over and over again, you're bound to pick up stereotypes of the people that they bring on there. And it's really just not fair. And overall picture, it shows that TV can be very masking and very, manipulative. And kids that watch it every day and don't have a class like this at a young age may go and form those stereotypes even worse later in life. So the kids that did take this class, I think, are lucky to have a teacher like that. So one of my questions is, have you ever watched a show and seen like yourself acting like the character, or just your general attitude changing? And then my second question is, how much do you think your stereotypes that you do have, because I know everyone has stereotypes in their head, even if they don't truly believe them, they're just there. That's just a personal opinion, but do you think that the stereotypes that you have formed, even if you don't believe in them, do you think you've formed them from watching TV and become a mind zombie stereotype thing? Okay, well, I messed that up at the end of the video, but thank you. Have a good night or day.